What's up, Israel? All praise to the Most High. Um, Coming to y'all today to give y'all a report on the Iran and America situation. It's getting pretty heated up. You got Trump throwing threats, and then you got the president over there. They throwing threats too. I don't think like it's gonna go like it did in North Korea or whatnot. Even though you got a lot of heathens thinking like, well, Trump he gonna call the president in, they're gonna meet, and it's gonna be peaceful and everything like that. But again, we already know what peace and safety means, so we already see what's going on. But I just wanted to get a couple of scriptures or whatnot. The first scriptures I'm gonna go to is Jeremiah 51:11, and it's the let us know that we real close. We at the door. But Jeremiah 51:11, it says, "Make bright the arrows, gather the shields. The Lord hath raised up the spirit of the kings of the Medes, for his device is against Babylon." And we all know who Babylon is. We know Babylon is America or whatnot. But he gathering the Medes. We know the Medes are Iran, the Persians. But that precept would be Isaiah 13:17. So Isaiah is a witness to this. So Isaiah 13:17. And it reads, "Behold, I will stir up the Medes against them." And he's stirring them up because in one of the videos or whatnot, if you pay attention of the president of Iran talking about, if you messing with a lion's tail, but, he's stirring them up. He says, and it reads, "Which shall not regard silver." So they ain't going to regard silver. "And as for gold, they shall not delight in it." So then they're not going to regard gold or nothing like that. And that can be, that's not literally. Because, as far as with the sanctions and, the trade wars and all that stuff, it can be talking about that, But Iran, they're not gonna go out like North Korea. And then I don't know what's the deal with that North Korea thing anyway. I'm paying attention to Iran. That's gonna be World War III, mother of all wars. You know what I'm saying? It's like I said, the videos I'm gonna play or whatnot, you will see what they're talking about and how they're talking, and how America is pushing, you know what I'm saying, to invade or strike Iran. But that was the scripture. Another scripture I wanted to bring out too, though, was Jeremiah 50:3. "For out of the north," now pay attention now, "for out of the north there cometh up a nation against her, which shall make her land desolate, and none shall dwell therein. They shall remove, they shall depart, both man and beast." Now, going back to the top of that paragraph, it says, for out of the north there cometh up a nation against her. Now, I want to ask you people who believe in this globe or whatnot, and I'm going to present it, you know, here's the globe right here, and see where Iran is coming from the north on a globe map. But if you get on a flat map, which I'm going to present as I speak now, you can see that Iran is directly north from America or whatnot. Now, it's not just going to be Iran, but as you can see in the news and all, you know, if you're paying attention or whatnot, it's like Iran going to start everything off or whatnot. That's how everything going to get started. But another verse. Jeremiah 51:48. And it reads, Then the heaven and the earth and all that is therein shall sing for Babylon, for the spoiler shall come unto her from the north, saith the Lord. So again, they coming from the north. You can get that on a flat earth, but you cannot get it on a round globe. So that just gives you more proof as far as with the Bible, you know, letting you know that we on a plain flat earth or whatnot with a dome over it, meaning the firmament. So I got one more verse, and that would be Jeremiah 50:41. Behold, a people shall come from the north, and a great nation, and many kings shall be raised up from the coast of the earth. So, you know, that's verifying what I said earlier about, you know, it's not just going to be Iran, but it's saying from the north. You know, you can get that on the flat earth, but you can't get it on the globe. You know what I'm saying? Check it out. Do your research or whatnot. Think about it. You know what I'm saying? Let the Holy Spirit, you know, talk to you and, you know, guide you or whatnot. But, you know, just giving everybody heads up. You know what I'm saying? But I want to play these videos and let y'all see what's up and what's going on.
President Donald Trump had a stark message for Iran's president on Twitter late Sunday night. The tweet came after Iranian President Hassan Rouhani warned Trump not to play with the lion's tail.
We do not want to go into a war with them, but they must understand well that war with Iran is mother of all wars. They have to understand it very well, that peace with Iran is mother of all peace.
The hostile rhetoric came just after Secretary of State Mike Pompeo delivered a message to Iranians during an address in California.
In light of these protests and 40 years of regime tyranny, I have a message for the people of Iran. The United States hears you. The United States supports you. The United States is with you.
Asked if the U.S. runs the risk of inciting war with Iran, White House Press Secretary Sarah Huckabee Sanders had this response.
Look, the president's responding to Iran, and he's not going to allow them to continue to make threats against America. If anybody is inciting anything, look no further than to Iran.
Some experts say
the war of words between President Trump and Iran is escalating. The president slammed Iran's leader Hassan Rouhani on Twitter yesterday, saying, quote, "Never ever threaten the United States again, or you will suffer consequences, the likes of which few throughout history have ever suffered before."
This comes after Rouhani warned the United States in a speech Sunday that any conflict with Iran would be, quote, mother of all wars. For more now on this, we want to bring in CBS News national security correspondent David Martin. He's joining us now from the Pentagon. So, David, what's the Pentagon's posture on Iran right now?
Well, surprisingly enough, for the past several months, the one place where the U.S. and Iranian militaries have regular contact, which is in the Persian Gulf, and specifically the Strait of Hormuz leading in and out of the Persian Gulf, the operations have been conducted in a professional way. There have been surprisingly few incidents compared to some time ago when the Iranians would take their small, fast boats and run them straight at U.S. warships as they pass through the Strait of Hormuz, or they would use lasers to dazzle the eyes of helicopter pilots operating off American ships in the Strait of Hormuz. We'll have to see if that changes now as a result of this exchange of rhetoric. But for a time, of a period of months, the operations in the Persian Gulf had been pretty professional on both sides. Now, why that was, you can only guess. My own guess is that when now Secretary of Defense James Mattis was a Marine general, he was the commander of Central Command responsible for that area, and it was well known that he was in favor of taking much tougher responses to Iranian provocations in the Gulf. And now that he's Secretary of Defense, it may be that Iran just doesn't want to test that proposition. But that is the one place where U.S. military and Iranian military forces are sort of within visual range of each other on a daily basis. There are other areas where the U.S. is in a confrontation with either Iran or with Iranian-backed forces, and mainly that's in Syria, where Iranian militia are one of the principal means that Assad has been able to survive. In Yemen, where the Iranians are backing the Houthi rebels with both money and missiles, and the missiles are being fired against an American ally.
Donald Trump had fire and fury for Iran late Sunday after President Hassan Rouhani warned Trump against hostile policies against Tehran. The U.S. president tweeted in all caps, quote, "Never ever threaten the United States again, or you will suffer consequences the likes of which few throughout history have ever suffered before." It came after Rouhani's own warning earlier in the day, saying the U.S. faces, quote, "the mother of all wars if it picks a fight with Iran."
Don't play with the lion's tail. This will only lead to regret. You will forever regret it.
Trump's tweet is likely the latest step in a PR offensive launched by his White House. U.S. officials say it's meant to encourage unrest in Iran and to pressure its government to end both its nuclear program and support for militants. It also came only hours after tough talk from Secretary of State Mike Pompeo. He told a mostly Iranian-American audience in California that Iran's leaders were comparable to organized crime.
The level of corruption and wealth among Iranian leaders shows that Iran is run by something that resembles the mafia more than a government.
Pompeo went on to call Rouhani and Foreign Minister Javad Zarif merely polished frontmen for the Ayatollah's international con artistry. Those two negotiated a deal with the United States and 5 other countries designed to stop Iran from developing nuclear weapons. However, in May, President Donald Trump withdrew from that accord.
Tonight, an ABC exclusive. Government sources say the US is preparing to bomb Iran's nuclear facilities. Good evening, Jeremy Fernandez with ABC News. Senior government figures have told the ABC that the US President Donald Trump is preparing to bomb Iranian nuclear facilities within a month. The sources also say Australia is poised to help identify the targets. The Prime Minister has rejected those claims. He says Mr Trump's views on Iran are clear to the world. Here's Defence reporter Andrew Green.
In the top end, long-standing military allies are rehearsing air combat manoeuvres. Over the next month, RAAF pilots will train with their American colleagues,
conducting as realistic operations as a coalition as we can.
But could the US soon be involved in the real deal? Over recent days, tensions between Tehran and Washington have been ratcheting up. Mr. Trump, be aware that we are near you where you do not even imagine, Iran's Revolutionary Guards commander has declared, just hours after this from America's top diplomat.
But there are a number of folks who are beginning to coalesce around an understanding of how we can appropriately respond to Iran to take down the nuclear risk to the United States.
In Australia, some senior government figures are convinced key members of Donald Trump's administration are now prepared to strike Iran's nuclear facilities, possibly as early as next month. They've told the ABC if the US president does proceed, Australian intelligence is likely to help.
I have to say I have no reason for believing that the story has any basis in fact.
Tying Australia's national security with the actions of a madman like Donald Trump is making Australia less safe.
Obviously, we want Iran and the United States to settle all of their issues peacefully. We want a denuclearised Iran.
And in a region already fraught with military tensions, Australia and her allies are desperately hoping diplomacy can still win the day. Andrew Green, ABC News, Canberra.